done it again. We've raised the bar, taken the lead, and set new standards in outboard design and testing criteria that far exceed industry expectations. We've redefined a new class of compact, lightweight, and versatile outboards. Introducing the new Mercury 154-stroke. For the competition, it's catch-up time again. The result? This is one over-engineered, one overbuilt, one durable outboard that meets the expectation of one, the customer. Let's take a look under the hood to see why. The 154-stroke is a 3-liter single overhead cam inline 4-cylinder that pumps out 150 horses at the prop. It's a 4-stroke that weighs in at a mere 455 pounds. That's the lightest in the industry. A new standard has been set. It's also the largest displacement engine in its class. Another industry standard reset. There are 3-liter outboards on the market that make up to 250 horsepower. The new 154-stroke has the same displacement with less horsepower to make more torque and more power. Why? Well, more torque gets the bow down quicker and the boat on plane faster. More torque gets a skier up quicker. More power pushes a fully loaded pontoon to comfortable cruising speeds. And more power means faster top-end speed. That gets you to the fishing hole first. And this outboard does all this without breaking a sweat. That's because this high displacement engine is never stressed to its limit. All that displacement gives it reserve power, and that extends engine life. For the customer, that means long-term durability in an outboard that's a lifetime investment. This engine features a low-friction valve train. It has a single overhead cam, 2-valve per cylinder head. It was intentionally designed with less moving parts, more simplicity. Less friction translates into more durability than the competitor's dual overhead cam design. Again, Mercury is setting the standard for simplicity, efficiency, and even technology. For example, the rocker arms on this engine were borrowed from Formula One racing. These roller finger followers are the reason this engine has a maintenance-free valve train. They're in constant contact with the cam lobe, maintaining incredibly tight tolerances, which means no trips back to the dealer to have the valve lash set. That keeps the customer on the water. All of our 75 through 300 horsepower 4-strokes feature a maintenance-free valve train, including our new 150. Only Mercury has this. Only Mercury sets the standard. To move air into this high displacement engine, Mercury engineers developed a performance-tuned scrolled intake. This composite scroll-shaped manifold keeps the runners long to pack in more air for low to mid-range torque while maintaining the outboard's compact profile. Air enters the scrolled manifold through a single throttle body. The competition uses multiple throttle bodies. Again, Mercury's simpler design means less maintenance. Of course, this is a multi-port EFI engine, which means low emissions and stingy fuel economy. But more importantly, EFI means it will always start hot or cold under any condition. To run any electronics you want to throw at it, Mercury set the bar with our exclusive on-demand 60-amp belt-driven alternator. On-demand means that the alternator only provides power when needed. Turn on the live well pumps, crank up the stereo. No matter if you're trolling or cruising, the system has plenty of power to keep the electronics humming. Now, the midsection of this outboard has been completely rethought and redesigned with new features that go beyond conventional thinking. It has a dual-path power trim and tilt system with a wide 20-degree trim range. Tuck the outboard under to get the boat on plane or trim it all the way out for top speed. The trim sensor has been redesigned to accept either SmartCraft or standard analog gauges. And that means no more swapping senders between analog and digital gauges. What's unique to the 154-stroke is its brand new focused mount system. 4 engine mounts, 2 at the top, mounted at 45 degrees, and 2 at the bottom. They're strategically placed to focalize and counteract opposing engine forces. They also have a variable rate design, which means they're soft at idle and stiffer at higher RPMs. This unique design controls engine forces and dampens vibration for an unbelievably comfortable ride. Just take a look at the size of these mounts. They're twice the size of our competitors' conventional mounts. And because they're mounted at a 45-degree angle, they can be mounted further away from the heat of the power head and oil pan. Heat deteriorates the life of an engine mount. This design remedies that. Even the oil sump was rethought and redesigned. Inside the midsection, the sump is physically separated from the exhaust to keep the oil cool. The 150 also features an exclusive water-to-oil heat exchanger that's water-cooled, mounted above the sump. Water goes through these passages to keep the oil cool. The cooler the engine oil, the better it lubricates. Goes to show, this is one overbuilt outboard. This outboard is made to last. There's easy maintenance outboards. Then there's the 154-stroke, the easiest outboard to maintain. Printed right here on this decal is the outboard maintenance schedule for quick and easy reference. No one else does this, and you'll be able to scan the decal with your smartphone, which will connect it to a Mercury maintenance website. Oil changes are messy, or they used to be. On the 150, connect a hose to the newly designed drain plug and loosen it half a turn. Oil's drained. Up top, we use an automotive type spin-off filter. Connect the hose to the drip tray and remove the filter. No more oil spills inside the engine. The filler cap is on top of the engine. Not sure what type of oil to use? Check the maintenance schedule decal on the side of the engine. When done, check the oil level with the yellow dipstick. All maintenance locations are color-coded in yellow. In fact, if equipped with SmartCraft, the engine will tell you when to change the oil. The computer actually predicts when it's time to change based on torsional RPM load and time. So, the guy who runs his outboard all day at wide open throttle will be warned to change his oil sooner than the occasional boater. One more maintenance item is the low pressure fuel filter. Give the yellow handle a tug and replace the filter. No tools needed. Simple. There's something else I want to show you. The ribs on the scrolled intake and exhaust manifold aren't there for good looks. They're actually there to help guide the cowl over the engine. Ingenious. Not to mention that the cowl weighs only 16 pounds, thanks to high-performance composites. No more cumbersome cowl. And on top of that, it's a single latch system. Doesn't get any easier than that. But there's more to the story. This is just the beginning. This Made in the USA outboard goes into production in the fall of 2011. There are many more features we could talk about, but we haven't even scratched the surface of the thousands of hours of endurance testing and duty cycle component testing. These outboards have been tested globally in real-life conditions to make sure they exceed customer expectations. We've set the benchmark for durability. Nobody else tests, retests, or punishes an outboard like Mercury. We overbuild for a reason. We have a tradition and reputation to uphold. Mercury is the world's leading marine propulsion manufacturer, and we intend to keep it that way. The 154-stroke, setting the standard for the next generation of outboards.